And just who is it that says,
It says, when it is said, I am the one or the ones who do and should say.
I am the one or the ones who do? I'm the one who does and should say? Like, this clip from Jordan Peterson, let's watch and listen what he's saying now. Peterson is effectively giving a deconstructionist justification for storming Masjid al-Aqsa. He's doubling down. As we've said before, he's a closet Christian, or a Christian Zionist, I think is what the whole tweet says. So let's watch.
There are prohibitions against prayer on the al-Aqsa site. Christians and Jews are not allowed to pray there. In addition, there are injunctions against physical contact, even between husband and wife. But that presented a problem for me because I was talking when I was on the site, and it is true to say that I endeavored to pray while doing so. And just who is it that says, when it is said, I am the one or the ones who do and should say? And if my wife wants to play along, well,
What does that even mean? Like, do you understand that sentence?
No. All I can think about is, look at this worthless scum. Who cares about your opinion? This drug-addled old man who is a self-proclaimed evil capitalist. Who are you to say who can and cannot pray in Masjid al-Aqsa? Like, how dare you even open your mouth about the Islamic holy lands? And if you think you have authority to decide everywhere that you're going to pray on the earth, what stops Muslims from saying, okay, well, we want to pray in your household. We want to force our way into Jordan Peterson's, hypothetically, I'm not speaking in actuals. Nobody is threatening Jordan Peterson or his household. But hypothetically, if you take this stance, what is stopping Muslims from saying, okay, well, if you want to tread on our holy land, then what stops us from treading into your home and establishing our authority and praying in your house? And if our wives want to play along, whatever that means, then they can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, let's use that logic. So I'm going to replay this sentence and see if we get it. And just who is it that says?
It says, when it is said, I am the one or the ones who do and should say.
I am the one or the ones who do? I'm the one who does and should say? Like,
it sounds like that meme of Breaking Bad where he's like, I'm the one that knocks. Like, I don't know what's going on in his mind.
I'm the one who knocks. This is not even grammatical. So this is like his shtick. Actually, I've always kind of felt this is that he's like a faux intellectual. Like, he tries to be more deep than he actually is. It's ironic for him to be anti-postmodernist, anti-Marxist, but the way he plays with language is exactly what the postmodernists do.
And if my wife wants to play along, well, I am there. Can't I encompass her with a friendly hand? Draw her close?
Can't I encompass her with a friendly hand? Like, you mean hold her hand?
I think he means that even in Islam, there's gender segregation. That's the only thing I can get out of this. Is like,
yeah.
If you over there, he's like, if I'm there, then I can't hold my wife's hand. If I'm in a religious place, I have to follow religious rules.
If you were a sixth grader, the way that he's speaking now, you would get marked off for grammar.
Yeah. So all he's saying is like, oh, first of all, who said you could just go walk around in Masjid al-Aqsa with your Zionist handlers? Number one. Who gave you permission for that? Number two, like, he's so bold, like, rather than being apologetic or being like at least embarrassed, like, for violating this for Muslims, he's doubling down and saying, yeah, I should be able to go wherever I want and hold the hands of my wife and speak when I'm supposed to be quiet. I should do, like, the arrogance of the guy. Like, he has this audacity. Like, I don't know how he thought this was a good idea. Like, does he expect to win like Muslim fans by talking like this?
He's just following a script from the Daily Wire. He's just they don't just follow the stance.
I'm thrilled to be there with her in that unlikely manner, seeing that remarkable place. And if while she is walking or talking, she stumbles or falls, is it improper for me to offer a hand or a prayer to help her along? And so
What is he talking about? If your clumsy wife falls, okay, like there's another woman that can help her out. Like you don't need to be by the side of your wife.
When you go and look at the churches and you see the kind of debauchery that is happening there, and the fact that a lot of people go to church just to meet people to fornicate, and this is well known, then you realize why Muslims do that, because this is a place of purity. This is a place to remember Allah. It's not a place for your perverse sexual desires. And we don't have a problem with women being in Masjid al-Aqsa. We have a problem with people invading Masjid al-Aqsa. We have a problem with people defiling our holy places. And if someone did this to the Jews, I'm sure Jordan Peterson would immediately be upset. But it's clear that he hates Islam and he's against Muslims. And Muslims should not follow this guy or pay him any attention. He's just a scumbag.
With this Christian thing, I think he's trying to cater to his the modernized Christian audience, because that's what the Zionists like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, they'll speak against like woke stuff, like extremely woke stuff, but they won't speak against the liberalized conservative values. So that's the audience that follows them.
These kinds of people is that they give people an alternative where they don't have to accept the most extreme aspects of modern culture, LGBTQ, transgender stuff. They give you this alternative, but what it does is, because people feel like they have that choice, it gradually liberalizes everybody. You know, in 10 years, these guys will only be conservative insofar as, you know, okay, yeah, we used to reject transgenderism. Now we only reject a male to female going back to male. You know, back in my day, it was a man could become a woman or a woman could become a man. But we didn't know about a man becoming a woman and then going back to a man. No,
Too far.
Conservative values.
I don't even think he's against like gender transition surgery in the sense that he thinks it should be prohibited, because he says that, no, you know, adults can do whatever they want, but I just have a problem with children doing it. Like, I think if you press Jordan Peterson on it, he would say, yeah, if a man wants to transition to a woman, I don't think that's the right thing to do, but you should have the freedom. Like, we should all have the freedom to do whatever we want. Yeah. Just like he draws the line at children, like, oh, children, like that's where the conservative line is, basically. Like, it accepts everything except that one point. And in the future, that will most likely change as well. But the point that I wanted to make is that, would he say the same thing about the Wailing Wall? Because I was just looking up, like, if he visited the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, which is Judaism's holy site, and on the Holy Wall in Jerusalem, they also practice gender segregation. Like, he can't go and hold his wife's hand and start talking in front of the Wailing Wall. That's prohibited. Yeah. So where's the consistency, Mr. Peterson? Like, let's see some backbone.
Let's see.
You want to lecture Muslim? You want to double down on Muslims and Masjid al-Aqsa? Let's see you hold your wife's hand in front of the holy Wailing Wall, and have a conversation with your wife and hold her hand just in case she trips. You know,
we know what Kanye has to say about that.
Part 3. He should come up with a part 3 message to Jews.
Yeah, he had a message to Christians, message to Muslims. We're still waiting on part 3 of the trilogy. It's gonna be a banger, I'm sure. Let's.
I could feel a spirit of compulsion and force at work there at al-Aqsa. And I was endeavoring not to subjugate myself to unnecessary tyranny while I walked and talked, trying not to be a craven slave.
What the heck does that mean?
It's like he doesn't know how the English language operates, and he just he gets these 2 words and he just strings them together, and it's supposed to be a sentence. It's almost like an AI is writing this stuff. It's not even sensical.